You see people driving Porsches every single day, and you think they just got lucky. Maybe they inherited money. Maybe they're crypto bros. Maybe they're financing it over 84 months and eating ramen in a studio apartment. But here's what's actually happening. They made moves you're too scared to make, and that's exactly why you don't deserve one yet. Number 10 on our countdown, you're waiting for permission like you're asking mom if you can have cookies before dinner. Nobody is going to tap you on the shoulder and hand you the keys. Your parents won't approve. Your friends will say you're having a midlife crisis even though you're 32. Your coworkers will suddenly become financial experts who drive 2009 Camrys with duct tape on the bumper. They stopped caring about the approval committee. They ran the numbers, saw it made sense for their situation, and pulled the trigger. The average person drops $40,000 on a crossover SUV that handles like a refrigerator on wheels, and nobody says a word. But suddenly, you want to spend $60,000 on a used 911, and everyone turns into Dave Ramsey. The difference between Porsche owners and everyone else isn't money. It's that they're willing to be called irresponsible by people whose idea of fun is scrolling TikTok in a Costco parking lot. You're still trying to make everyone else happy while your dream car sits on someone else's driveway, getting driven to Whole Foods once a week. Number 9, you think depreciation is your enemy when it's actually your wingman setting you up. Yeah, new Porsches cost more than a small house in Ohio. A new 911 can run you over $100,000 easily. But here's the secret that actual Porsche people know. You don't buy new unless you're making doctor money or you sold an app to Google. A 3-year-old Carrera has already taken the massive depreciation hit. Some poor guy who bought it to impress his girlfriend ate that 30% loss. She left him anyway, and now you're getting a barely broken-in sports car for 70 cents on the dollar. Porsches hold value better than almost any other performance car on the market. A 5-year-old 911 still commands respect. Compare that to a BMW M car that loses value faster than my New Year's resolutions. The used Porsche market is where smart buyers live. You're out here thinking you need $200,000 to join the club, when certified pre-owned 718s are sitting at dealerships for the price of a loaded Tahoe. That's suburban mom car money for a mid-engine sports car. But you don't deserve it yet because you haven't even looked at the used market. You're too busy assuming it's out of reach while watching YouTube videos about what you'd buy if you won the lottery. Number 8, you believe the maintenance horror stories from people who've never owned one and get their information from a forum post from 2003. Let me tell you what actually happens. Yes, Porsches need maintenance. So does every car unless you're planning to drive it until it becomes a lawn ornament. The difference is Porsche maintenance is predictable. These engines are bulletproof when you follow the service schedule. A major service every 4 years runs about $2,000. That's $500 a year. Your Starbucks habit costs more than that. Brake jobs are pricier than a Honda, sure, but those brakes will stop you from hitting a wall at 100 miles per hour, which seems like a decent trade-off. Tires wear faster because you're driving a performance car with wider rubber, not because Porsche is personally scamming you. The people crying about maintenance costs are the same ones who skip oil changes on their Civic and then blame Honda when the engine explodes. Or they're comparing it to a Corolla, and yeah, obviously a Corolla is cheaper to maintain. It's also about as exciting as watching paint dry in a beige room. You don't deserve a Porsche yet because you're listening to broke people explain why they can't afford nice things, instead of talking to guys who actually own them and take them to track days on weekends. Number 7, you're scared of the community like we're some secret society that sacrifices minivans at midnight. Porsche owners have a reputation for being snobby. Some of them are. Those are usually the guys who bought a Macan and act like they invented driving. Most of us are just car nerds who worked hard and bought the thing we wanted. The Porsche community actually does weekly drives, track days, cars and coffee meetups, where everyone stands around drinking terrible coffee and lying about how fast they took that one turn. These people want to talk about their cars. They want to help new owners learn which buttons do what because Porsche interiors have more switches than a spaceship. But you've already decided they're going to judge you for buying the base model or getting an automatic. Here's reality. Nobody cares. Half the guys at the meetup are driving base Carreras with PDK. The other half are lying about having a manual. You don't deserve the car yet because you're too insecure to join a group of people who will instantly become your friends just because you also own a German sports car. You're letting imaginary gatekeepers stop you from real experiences while actual Porsche owners are out there having the time of their lives and comparing who has the most ridiculous spec. Number 6, you haven't done the actual math, like you're avoiding it on purpose. Sit down right now and calculate what you spend on stuff that doesn't matter. Eating out 5 times a week because cooking is hard. Subscription services you forgot exist until they charge your card. A car payment on a Nissan Altima that makes you sad every morning. Buying new phones every year like the camera upgrade will fix your life. Most people can find $300 to $500 a month in their budget without even canceling anything important. That's enough to lease a 718 Cayman. Yeah, leasing isn't ownership, but it gets you in the driver's seat and lets you feel what a flat 6 sounds like when you redline it. And if you're serious, you can structure your finances to buy used in 2 years. But you won't do this because you're comfortable being uncomfortable. You'd rather complain about not having a Porsche on Reddit than actually sacrifice your DoorDash addiction to get one. You don't deserve it because you haven't proven yourself it's actually a priority. Right now, it's just a daydream you have while sitting in traffic in a car you hate. Number 5, you're waiting for the perfect moment like it's going to show up with a bow on it. The perfect moment doesn't exist unless you're in a romantic comedy. There will always be a reason to wait. The market might crash, interest rates might drop, a new generation might come out. Your job might get shaky. You might want kids eventually, and apparently kids and sports cars can't coexist, even though Porsches have back seats specifically designed for tiny humans or groceries. The list goes on forever. Porsche owners bought when they were ready, not when conditions were perfect. They accepted that timing the market is impossible, and life is too short to spend it driving boring cars. You're going to wake up at 65 and realize you spent 40 years waiting for permission that was never coming. The 911 you wanted is now a classic selling for triple what it cost new. And you're still driving something sensible that you have to convince yourself is fine. You don't deserve a Porsche yet because you haven't learned that regret from action beats regret from inaction. At least if you buy the car and it doesn't work out, you got to drive a Porsche. If you never try, you just get to wonder what if for the rest of your life. Number 4, you think it's just about the badge, like buying a Porsche is the same as buying a Supreme hoodie. This is where people really show they don't get it. Porsche isn't a status symbol flex. It's an engineering achievement that's been refined since your grandparents were young. The flat 6 engine sounds like nothing else on Earth. The rear engine layout creates handling that feels like physics is broken in the best way. The PDK transmission shifts faster than you can blink. The chassis balance makes average drivers feel like they actually know what they're doing. You're not buying a Porsche to impress Karen from accounting. You're buying it because driving actually matters to you, because the connection between car and driver is worth investing in. Because life is too short to spend 2 hours a day commuting in something that makes you want to drive off a bridge. People who only see the badge are the same ones who buy Range Rovers and never leave the mall parking lot. You don't deserve a Porsche yet because you haven't figured out why you actually want one beyond showing off at the gas station. Number 3, you're letting insurance costs scare you like they're going to charge you a kidney per month. Yeah, insuring a sports car costs more than insuring a minivan. This isn't a conspiracy. But here's what people don't tell you. The difference isn't as insane as you think. A 30-year-old with a clean record might pay $2,000 a year to insure a used 911. That's about $170 a month. A normal car runs about $200. You're talking $70 difference. 2 trips to Chipotle, 3 fancy coffees. This isn't a barrier. It's an excuse you're hiding behind. And if you're really cost sensitive, you can shop around. Different insurance companies rate sports cars differently. Some see Porsche owners as responsible enthusiasts who take care of expensive things. Others see us as idiots who are gonna wrap it around a tree. 5 phone calls could save you hundreds, but you haven't made those calls because you've already decided it's too expensive without actually checking. You don't deserve it yet because you quit before you even tried. You're out here letting theoretical numbers stop you from making real progress. Number 2, you're paralyzed by options like you're trying to order at the Cheesecake Factory. Do you want a 911 or a 718? Carrera or Carrera S? Manual or PDK? Coupe or Targa? Red calipers or yellow? Sport chrono or no? The options list is massive, and you're treating every choice like it'll define your entire existence. Here's the truth that'll set you free. Any Porsche is better than no Porsche. The base Carrera is faster than you'll ever need on public roads. The 718 Cayman is one of the best handling cars ever built and costs less than a loaded pickup truck. You don't need every option checked. You don't need the perfect spec that some guy on Renlist says is the only acceptable configuration. You need to pick something and commit. Porsche people upgrade and trade all the time. Your first one doesn't have to be your forever car. It just has to get you in the game. You don't deserve a Porsche yet because you're using analysis paralysis as protection against actually doing the thing. You're hiding behind research when what you really need is action. Number 1, you're underestimating yourself like it's your full-time job. This is the real issue we need to talk about. Deep down, you don't think you're the kind of person who owns a Porsche. You've built this entire identity around being practical and sensible and never splurging. You've convinced yourself that nice things are for other people, that enjoying your money is somehow wrong, that driving something special makes you shallow or vain. None of that is true, and you know it. You've worked hard. You've earned money. You deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor without apologizing for it. A Porsche isn't just a car. It's a decision to prioritize experience over other people's opinions. It's choosing to actually live instead of just existing and paying bills until you die. It's saying yes to yourself for once. You don't deserve a Porsche yet because you haven't given yourself permission to be happy. And until you fix that mental block, no amount of money or perfect timing will get you behind the wheel. So here's where we're at. You now know exactly what's stopping you, and none of it is actually real. It's all mental barriers you built yourself. The question isn't if you can afford a Porsche, the question is whether you're finally ready to stop making excuses and become the person who does.